DJ Toa, and yes, we got some special guests in the building today, and I'll let them introduce themselves one by one.
I am the king of AZ, Chris Evans.
And I am Johnny Suave.
And of course, I'm Roman Alexander. And together, we are the Card.
The Cards in the building, yes, and they have their radio voices on, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do I sound like old time radio? I did like Chris's. I am the king of AZ, Chris Evans.
Chris,
And you're listening to...
Slow jams. Slow jams. Slow jams. All right, so you got these guys in the building today. Thanks for coming. It was 6:30, but
No, man, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
So, some people got kids around here.
Yeah, I know. Somebody's kid over here got really hungry, and I had to feed her before I dropped her off. So I apologize. That's my fault.
but thanks for coming on the show with me for today. And
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we had Manzi on. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the fat kid I beat up in Yuma.
So, yeah, we talked about that match too.
Well, I listened and I watched. He obviously didn't want to talk too much about it.
Mm-hmm.
No, man, anytime like we get to do stuff like this, like we're always like down to, do radio or YouTube or anything. Like we enjoyed coming out here and doing this kind of stuff for you guys, and
So let's go by one. How long you guys been in the business?
me 11 years.
Does that make me at 12? Because I started like right before you.
Yeah.
I want to say I'm at 12 years now.
I finished last at 10.
Hey, look, you guys are all in order, kind of.
Kind of. From what I understand, Roman, I thought it was like 4 and then like a year off or something like that, and then like...
No, it's actually 10.
Oh, okay.
10
Okay.
good. 10 good.
Happy belated birthday, by the way, Roman.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Getting old.
Yeah,
How come neither one of us were invited?
Well, I didn't do anything
Oh.
this year. We didn't do anything this year.
Could have came over to your house, fool.
I didn't even come over to my house. Usually, the last couple of years, we've been going to the resorts? We've been doing the resorts.
Oh, yeah.
We did La Paloma and...
Oh, that's right.
Star Pass
Yeah,
last
Star
year?
Pass
Yeah,
last
Star
year.
Pass last year, yeah. That was that.
got attacked. Lena's down by the fire.
Oh, yeah. That was my first time ever seeing Javelina since I've lived here, man.
We're hanging out by the fire, indulging in adult beverages.
Yeah.
And then, damn, Javelina's
Just say it. You're drinking beer.
We weren't drinking beer. We were drinking tequila. We were drinking everything but beer.
All right, so back to the business. So, what was you guys' perk? When did you guys start? I mean, like, what got you itch to start, professional wrestling?
Oh, God. For all three of us, it's probably like a good 5-10 minutes background. So,
I mean,
Chris,
of course,
you
everybody's always been a fan. So, I mean, watching it growing up, you have your heroes, and it's just something. It's a childhood dream,
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it was for me, and I'm sure it was for both of you.
Mine was a little bit different because I got introduced to wrestling in general when I was probably like 5 or 6, and I remember my uncle introduced me to a Shawn Michaels match on like a Saturday night main event, and he was my first, like, and it's still to this day, he's my favorite wrestler, and that's actually how me and Evans got along when we started training together. It was kind of like in Step Brothers, where it's like, name your favorite wrestler, 1, 2, 3. It's like Shawn Michaels. Yeah. It's like, we just become best friends. Yup. But you're trying to go more towards like what got us into the business aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I used to work at a Blockbuster, if anybody listening remembers what that is. And my assistant manager, Joe, he went by a wrestling name Glenn Diablo McNeil. He was my assistant manager, and he and I used to talk wrestling all the time at work. And he's like, "Oh, you ever seen like independent wrestling and stuff?" I said, "Nope, never even knew about it. I thought it was just WWE. I thought you just got found at the gym, and you just
come down and train in this warehouse, boy."
Yeah, you want to wrestle? Yeah, and I was in baseball at the time at Mount San Antonio College in Walnut, California, and he was like, yeah, come to a local show and whatever. And if the baseball thing doesn't work out, maybe you think about trying it out. Well, I've been wrestling, so I didn't make the team. So that's pretty much how I got into it. And my first promotion watching was AWS, Alternative Wrestling Show, which I saw like Little Cholo, which people recognize on Lucha Underground, and like Alcatraz and Scorpio Sky back when he used to wear a mask because he was in a tag team, and I feel bad, I can't remember his tag team partner. That's pretty much how I got started. I started at Blockbuster talking with a manager about wrestling.
Yeah, and for me, I was in the Marines at the time, and a buddy of mine, like me and my buddy, we were like huge wrestling fans, and we used to take DVDs, like WWE DVDs, like on deployments and stuff. And he just saw online somewhere that there was like a wrestling school in San Diego, and he wanted me to go with him, and I was like, I didn't want to, you know, I was like, no, man, I'm not gonna go do that, man. Like, he's like, come on, man. Like, we've always like talked about doing it and blah 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 and all this, and I was like, nah. But he kept bugging me like all week because he didn't want to go by himself. So I went with him. He talked me into it. I did the training, and I didn't like it. You know, I was like, it was kind of like childish. I don't know, that training. So I was just like. A lot of the guys there were like getting blown doing all this stuff, you know, and I was a Marine at the time, so like
that means tired.
So like to me it wasn't like tiring, it wasn't like challenging. Anything they showed me, I did it right off the bat, you know. You just show me once and I could do it, you know. And I was just like, all right, cool. Well, it was just like cool being in a ring, I guess, but it's kind of weak, you know, like, so I was like, but then later on, Devin Sparks and Adam Ginsberg, Devin Sparks was actually at that training and saw me doing that stuff, and he was just like, you know, hey, you're kind of a natural at it, like, you like, I want to bring you over to this new school we're starting, and then we're going to start a company and all this, and we want to get some students first. And I was like, nah, I'm good, man, like, it was all right, you know, whatever. And he was just like, well, what don't you like about it, you know? And I was just like, it's too easy and like all this, you know? I was just like, you know, and he's just like, all right, he's all, just come to the training, he's all, just do it, and we'll see how it goes. So we go, and like, yeah, that was the right challenge that I needed. He kicked our butts, you know, pretty good, and then I think Suave came in a few months after we had been training, and they had us doing like 1,000 squats like before practice and stuff, and it was just the right amount of challenge that like I needed, like physicality and stuff. So that's kind of like how I got into it. Somebody drugged me to go to it, and then I was like, nah, it's weak, and then somebody else brought me, and I was like, all right, I kind of like this kind of training. Like, I like being physical, you know. I'm like, if you stick me something and I got it down, why am I still like doing it over and over? I've already proven like I could do this. Can we move on? You know what I mean? And it was like the other one, they didn't want to move on. They just, you know, whereas this one, they're like, as soon as you got it down, all right, here's what's next. Here's what's next. Here's what's next. And that's what I wanted, you know. I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, I like, just throw the next thing at me. And if I can't do it, I'm just going to do it over and over and over until I got it down perfect. And once I do, can we move on? Yeah. You know, type thing, you know, because, for me, I just wanted to move on. And that training really got me doing it, so... Yeah.
I learned how to run the ropes last week.
It was like, I caught on quick, so it was just like, I don't know, like I didn't like being stuck in one spot.
Yeah. I do remember my first training though, because again, I was in baseball majority of my life, which is just another word for track, as I like to say, because you just.
Whoa, hey, I'm a fellow baseball player. We are not trackers.
Well, yeah, you were probably a catcher. That's why.
I was a third baseman.
That's just as bad. You stay in one spot. I was an outfielder.
This guy over here.
So like, you know, you run around a lot just to sit down for 9 innings most of the time. But I thought I was in good cardio shape. My very first training, ran the ropes for probably like 30 seconds and then did a couple of bumps and all this stuff and then immediately ran for a trash can. It was way different than any other cardio I've ever had before.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I was used to it, like in the Marines.
Yeah.
Like, I would wake up drunk and then go run 6 miles, 6 miles up a mountain, you know? So I was like, wrestling training, I was like, this is easy. Like, you can't tire me out. You know what I mean? Like, no matter. And even then, when I watch, like, our old matches, man, I'm like, I look at how fast I would move in the ring and how spotty I was, like, how, like, just constantly moving in the ring. I was just like, man. I look at it now and I was like, I'd be so wore out if I still wrestled like that. I would be dying right now.
Yeah, it's the same way for me, man. When I watch old matches of myself and Evans and just running around, flipping around, and doing all that stuff, and it's weird because of the fact that, again, we've only been 11, 12 years. It's almost weird to say that, like, he and I were a little ahead of our time because now when you watch wrestling, it's who can look the fanciest, it's the athleticism and all this stuff. And I remember back then he and I would have these matches and, like, we're thinking we're putting on the best match ever. And we'll have, the quote-unquote veterans just going like, why are you doing that? That's so dumb.
You're doing too much.
You're barn burners, It's like, for us, I don't care if I'm the first match or the last and he's the same way. You try to steal the show. And
I always hated the you're doing too much because I'm like, that doesn't tell me anything,
Yeah.
How much I work with these guys, I know I'm doing too much.
Yeah, because it's like when they're like, they come back and they're like, "Oh, you do too much, kid." When I ask, like, "Yeah, how was it?" and all they tell me is, "You're doing too much," and it's like, well, that doesn't help. Like, what's too much?
Business, bro.
What's too much? Yeah. Is there too little? What's just right? You never got told. You're doing too much. So it's like, okay, like, I don't believe that you could ever do too much. I think now when I look at it, it's like, it's not doing too much. It's just putting things where they need to go, doing things that make sense and tell a story, like, now, you know what I mean? Yeah. But there isn't too much, you know what I mean? You can have a lot, as long as it's placed right and makes sense and looks good, like.
There's even times where you and I will have a match or, like, whether it's against each other or in separate matches, and to us, it's an easy match.
Yeah.
And other people will be like, why'd you go out and do so damn much, blah, blah, blah. It's like, we barely did anything, actually, man. Like,
it's funny, too. Like, because that's happening a lot recently, too, when we work people. They're like, that's too much, it's too much. And, like,
I can't do it.
Yeah, they're like, this is all, it's just too much. And I'm like, when I count out, like, how many moves, like, there are, I was like, dude, it's only, like, 3 moves. Like, it's only, like, 5 moves.
I'll tell you this much. I have the same 5 moves that I've had for probably the last 6 to 8 years. I just have different ways of coming up with them. That's about it.
Yeah.
But everybody will say, like, "Oh, why are you trying to do so much, bro?" My thing is always like, my thing has always been,
it's really not.
I want to be tired when I'm done, because if I feel tired, I feel like I actually put in work.
Yeah.
When I'm done with a match and I go backstage and I'm just like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, where are we gonna go eat? Like, I am disappointed, actually.
Yeah.
I like feeling the huffing and puffing at the end of a match.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's in me either. Like, it's not in me to shortchange fans and give them, like, any type of watered-down version of Chris Evans. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like every time I go out there, I have to give everybody my best. Even if there's, like, 5 people in the crowd, 1,000, doesn't matter. Like, I go out there and, like...
They paid money.
Yeah, they paid money, and I want them, to know that, like, well, even if they didn't enjoy the rest of the show, they at least know, like, well, at least Chris Evans is on there, and he's gonna obviously have a good match at the very least. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I try and do.
You do it well, though. I mean, some of the matches you've pulled out of people, man, it's incredible.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like, I just want everybody to look good when I wrestle them. Whether they've been wrestling 3 matches in, like I just did the other week, you know, somebody had been just their third match, you know, and then wrestle somebody with years of experience like Chris
Talking
Masters.
about Jesse, right?
Yeah, Jesse. Yeah, he did really good. He was freaking terrified.
I didn't know he was 3 matches in, but he looked like
man.
he was all the way.
I want to say the Taco Fiesta was his first match, right?
Yeah. Yep, I went over like his entrance there and his song and just so like, I mean, you could see like he was freaking terrified backstage, you know. But I was
It was weird though because when for IWL is pretty much where I made everything of myself, whether if it was good guy or bad guy. And when it was time to turn me a bad guy, the way that it came up though was that we were sitting down talking about the next show, and they go, you know what? Suave in real life is a little bit of an a-hole. Like, you know, I'm not a mean guy, but it's just there's, I don't know, kind of like the things where like you not necessarily push people's buttons or whatever, but it's like, did Suave really say something like that? Like that's kind of weird. Like, but it's funny. I catch people off guard sometimes. So they're like, you know what? Let's try out Suave as a bad guy. And I immediately thought, hey, if you're gonna be a bad guy, you have to be the I'm bad and I'm gonna beat you up. You know, you can't see me, but my fists are to my sides, like I'm pouting and stuff. You know, and I realized that wasn't working, and it just wasn't believable for me to beat people up.
Nobody bought it. Like,
Yeah, so then
neither did we. We were like just in the
everybody
back
was
laughing.
making fun of
like
me.
you trying to
We were
be
in the
Bill.
back laughing.
Yeah.
I'm seeing something.
Yeah, but then I started doing the dabbing thing because that was cool at the time. I was doing it for probably about 2 months.
It was
just
never cool. That's why we do it.
It's pretty cool.
Well,
now.
I'm saying at the time, like everybody was doing it. You know, you look at like Cam Newton and all that stuff, and
It
everybody
was
was
trending
doing.
at the time.
Yeah, so let's go with trending. Yeah, instead of cool. So I decided to start doing it, and like I was kind of just making a parody of it, where like
Yeah, we did it because it was stupid.
yeah.
We did it because we thought it was dumb. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I started doing like the machine gun version of it, and like doing it with both hands alternating super fast and stuff. And you know, it was getting me over as a bad guy, like an annoying bad guy who people wanted to see get beat up. I was doing it for about 2 months, and then a buddy of mine back home, Justin Reich, he texts me and he goes, "Hey, did you watch? Are you watching WWE at all?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah. Why?" And he said, "Watch the Cruiserweight Classic." And because again, I don't 100% follow TJ's, career.
Yeah.
But then I saw him in the Cruiserweight Classic, and I was like, oh my god, everybody's gonna say I'm copying him. Because then his entrance, you know, he would do that spin or whatever, and then do the dab, and then in the middle of the match, he would do like the feet across the head, and then twist and knock him over, and then do the dab and all that stuff. And I was like, well, I try to find something different because everybody's gonna say I'm copying him, or I just keep at it because of the fact that I'm a bad guy. At the very least, people go, "Oh, you're copying TJ," blah blah blah.
TJ wants his gear back.
Yeah, I got that on YouTube. No, it wasn't Gary. It was
We actually copied somebody else though. So
who were we copying?
Logan Paul, when he was a Viner.
Oh yeah,
Before he was like this dude.
Oh, because of the Olympics, right? The Olympics.
He had this Vine where he would like go to different countries and do the splits and then dab or something, and then we were watching, and I was like telling Suave, I was like, look at this guy like doing the splits on the Great Wall of China, and then like just all this stuff, and then we saw he posted a Vine of him at the Olympics, and he was actually on the news and stuff, and anytime the camera panned to the crowd, he would just do this dab real quick, and then he started like when it would stay on him, he was like doing it a bunch, and then he was like switching both arms and stuff because
the raw thing, and you're all.
Yeah, because we had just seen like people do this, and we're like, all right, whatever. But there was something about the way he was doing it that was just
ridiculous,
freaking hilarious and ridiculous. Because he was just like both arms and both his friends, they were just like going crazy in the crowd, and it was like pumping the crowd up. So
then there was one he had where like the national anthem was playing, so he rose his hand over his heart super slow. and then like dabs super slow and then puts it back on his heart, so like that. Which we thought was ridiculous, and we were like, you know what, let's just start doing that.
But now
man.
it's like your thing.
So
like even
funny.
my kids are like, you got to dab for Suave. You got to dab for Suave. You know,
Yeah.
they go upstairs and they'll play everybody's music, and the kids will be like, I got to be Suave so I can dab, or I'm gonna be Chris Evans. And
Yeah, and then there's shows that I'm at, and there's another wrestler who was kind of known for doing a dab once in a while. You guys know Suede, right?
Thompson.
Yeah, Suede Thompson. So I remember, like, I knew of him, but I didn't like see him until I started, wrestling at one of the shows, and I was like, well, can't dab here because everybody's gonna say I'm copying him. And then now, even now, like I'll wrestle, for TV and stuff, and it's like Suede's on there, and some of the guys, like the fan I was saying, Dustin, he'll yell a dab on him, Suave, and all this stuff. I'm like, I can't hear. Like,
I don't hear you.
I know. Yeah, I can't do that here.
Yeah, and another thing we picked up on was the Fortnite dancing
gonna
too.
say that you guys do Fortnite
The
now.
kids freaking love that. They
and
get such a kick out of it when we like do it in a mean. We'll Fortnite dance in a mean way.
Yeah, they battle. They used to battle my kids all the time.
Yeah.
Fortnite battle dances, dude.
And the funny thing, I've only played like probably 4 matches of
Yeah,
Fortnite.
I
I just
literally
do it
don't
because
play
it's
it.
funny.
Yeah. For my kids will be in the like sitting ringside. They're like, "You're trash at Fortnite, bro."
Yeah, I'll yell.
I don't even play.
Yeah, I'll yell it
Yeah.
in the middle of a match because there's this one kid. I want to know his name because I see him all the time at HIW. He'll yell out, "You're trash at Fortnite."
Yeah,
And, like
it's
we see him. We see
don't
him
even
at.
play Fortnite.
Yeah, we see him at RWA also, like in our tag match against
Is
Leslie.
one of the kids' friends or?
No, I don't think so. But we'll see him, and like at RWA, for instance, out of like 500-600 people there, I'll hear the one kid
Yeah.
go, "You're trash at Fortnite." I'm like, "Oh, he's here today."
I always hear it. I always hear it too. Yeah.
And I'll look at him and like I'll start like doing a Fortnite
that
dance
same
to
kid
him.
always says I suck at Ninja Turtles. He always says that because we have a drunk play on my YouTube channel. Yeah, on my YouTube channel we do a lot of gaming. We call drunk plays because we're drunk when we're gaming and when we're playing.
It's
these.
as the title says.
Yeah. So,
Those are
so
awesome.
We're completely drunk trying to play these impossibly hard games to play, like from the 80s and 90s, like back when you had to like memorize levels. Like,
Yeah.
you can't just
Nintendo, Super
yeah,
Nintendo.
you can't just play a game. Like you actually
Donkey Kong.
Yeah. In order to beat
There's
the
an
game, you
algorithm
had
to the games back
memorize.
then. Yeah, there was a platform, and it was always the same. You had to memorize it. You
Yeah,
can't
you-
remember any of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure we all get drunk and play Mario Kart on the Wii.
You need to join them, man.
But yeah, so like we put these videos up, and like the fans will watch, the YouTube channel, and then like I'll hear it at the next show while I'm wrestling, like, "Oh, you suck at Ninja Turtles," or "You suck at Fortnite."
Everybody
You
sucks at Ninja
You
Turtles.
suck at this," and I'm just like, I was drunk when I was doing.
Yeah, just the Fortnite thing. I took the.
But yeah, everything we
oh,
do in the
man.
ring, we do it ironically. We
Yeah.
don't do it because it's like the hip,
Yeah.
cool thing to do. We do it because we're like, this is dumb. We should
Yeah,
do this.
yeah, and it's like for the adults,
Like this
it's
is
annoying.
so ridiculous.
Yeah, for the adults, it's annoying, and then for
The
the
kids
kids, no, for the kids, it's you're not even doing it right. And like that's kind of the point.
Sounds like my oldest.
Like, dude, I was so
Kids always like battle us and like dance
Fortnite
dance
dances,
battles
yeah.
like during matches and stuff. Like it's so funny.
This is how much I was dedicated to it, though. Was that before I was just doing the floss and then do a dab into the elbow. I took the time, like 3 separate days, to just learn how to do the Orange Crush dance or whatever. Forgot what it's called.
Is that the one you did with lasagna?
Yes. I like 3 like no, don't get me, I didn't spend like hours on hours.
Don't lie.
But I did, on 3 separate occasions, stand in front of a mirror, have the YouTube tutorial of somebody doing it, like, oh, this is how you do the orange dance, whatever, on Fortnite. And, like, I only
So
do...
hours upon hours.
I only do, like, 3 seconds
You
of the
learned
dance, by
how
the
to
way.
dance ironically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tina born yet, or was she? Did you have her like sitting there watching?
It's actually
What the reference was for the other guys.
Yeah, the reference, like, you learned how to dance, ironically, was from the movie The Other Guys. Because he literally just admitted you did that.
I learned how to do it, ironically.
Yeah, because in the movie, it's like with Will Ferrell and what's
Mark
his name?
Wahlberg.
Mark
yeah.
Wahlberg, yeah. Mark Wahlberg
He learned how to ballerina
busts
dance.
in on his, like, ex-girlfriend and busts out a bunch of pliés in front of, like, her...
It was like a
that's
triple
right.
pirouette or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
whatever it was. I don't know the name of it, but he does it like perfect,
Yeah.
like in like street clothes and stuff. And he's like, "I want you back. See, like I did this and all this." And then like his buddy was like, "Where did you learn to dance like that?" And he was just like, "Oh, I learned how to dance like that, making fun of like other kids at school." And he's like, "You went to class and you learned like how to do this to make fun of people."
Yeah, you learned how to perfect the triple pirouette, ironically.
Yeah, he's like, I learned how to do it to make fun of other people who do it.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
That's how dedicated I was to annoying kids.
And you do it very well.
I tried to, man. Like whenever I have to be a good guy, I'm like, how do I do that again? I mean, I guess I
You
can.
might as well YouTube it.
Yeah,
Might as well. Everything's on YouTube.
I kind of just do the same thing, actually. It's very weird. Like, if I come out as a good guy and I do the same moves and do the stupid dances, it gets over. But if I come out and, like, I go up to a kid...
That's how you carry yourself.
The very first kid that I come up to, I'll mimic... I'll make it look like I'm going to high-five him and then dab on him instead of high-fiving him. Boo, you're a bad guy. And then I do the same exact mannerisms, but they boo. It's very weird. But it's awesome.
Yeah. I just can't get over as a heel for anything.
You just got such a baby face,
Neil
dude.
told me it's the likable dad face.
Probably. Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
do
go with that because you can't. I mean, you can't get as go for as a heel. Everybody.
Even
I've seen it,
like,
man, and it's bad.
I need Tomb or I need you guys or
And you try to stop yourself from going over there and interacting with the crowd. You
It's so
just,
hard because forever, and there's a lot of like special fans too that come out that I really cater to that have been watching me for years, like Kelby, and I got this kid Rudy, and Kelby is
He's everybody's
he's
fan.
everybody's fan. He'll come out, he'll be like, "I made you a sign," and I'm like, "Oh, you need me to sign it?" He's like, "I gotta make it. Hold on."
Yeah.
Yeah, he literally draws it out right in front of you. and then
But he'll have a sign for everybody.
and then ask for you to sign it, and it's like,
And then take a selfie.
yeah, it's awesome. I do it every show.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
I will never turn that down.
Kelby, but man, you gotta give him and his dad. They travel
They
all
put
over the
they
country.
put in more miles than the boys.
Yeah,
And
honestly.
pretty much every worker says that about Kelby and his dad.
there isn't a show on the West Coast they haven't been to.
There's times where like
And I would probably have an upset fan if I didn't mention Raul.
Raul,
Hey.
Raul, if you're listening,
we're your favorite wrestler
love you, man. Thank you for all your support.
Yeah, one of us is your favorite wrestler this week.
today.
Yes.
I don't know. He's been posting a lot of new guys.
Yeah,
Wow.
I saw that Dave Dutra. That's why I tagged Chris. He's like, oh, he's his new favorite wrestler this week. Nah, he's a cool guy, man. I love that guy. I just like messing with him.
man, we've been talking for a while, guys.
Well, dude, when we start talking, and
Can talk
when you're-
forever.
when you're with
Yeah.
your
As long
buddies
as you
and
want, man.
We barely scratch Evans and I personally, because of how long we've been friends and wrestling and stuff. We barely scratch the surface. We can talk forever.
well, and the three of us don't get together as much as we
Yeah.
like, but when we do, we love hanging out.
Yeah.
We like to go. One of my favorite things is to meet up with him, and I love when he sings to me. God, I love
His favorite song that I sing for karaoke is "Careless Whisper."
Woo!
Anytime I'll sign up for a song, he'll be like, "Nope."
If Careless Whisper
Careless
does
Whisper.
not happen,
My favorite Suave song, and it surprised the heck out of me when I heard him sing it, was Weird Al Amish Paradise.
oh Jesus!
Oh wow.
I marked out so bad for that.
Yeah.
I know the last time we were,
Paradise.
I don't need the words. I don't need the words, bro.
Yeah.
This is
the last time we were out, it was Afro Man,
Afroman Colt 45. I've had that memorized since I was like 16.
Well,
And
he
then-
serenaded me one night. I went through a breakup, and the chick left me at the bar. And we went together, and she got mad because it's our bar. You know, me and Suave had been going to Jeff's Pub for a good couple of years, right?
Yeah.
At that point,
Pretty much since I moved here.
And I hadn't been there in a while, and the bartender was like, "Roman, where have you been? You know, where's Suave?"
Oh, yeah.
And
I remember
I took
that.
she bought me a shot, and my girlfriend at the time got mad and left me at the bar
Because the bartender was cool with him.
Because of that?
Yeah, dude.
Well,
So-
my ex left me because I didn't like the new Shazam costume.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
that's right.
ghosted.
I think that's a little bit
She
worse.
just
Well,
up
yeah.
and disappeared while I was at work. While I was at a wrestling match. Came home and like she'd completely moved out. I was like,
Deleted everybody off Facebook. Deleted her Facebook. Yeah, she left me there, and Suave came back, and what did? Oh, he sang "Time of Your Life," and we even did the. I picked him up and spun him around.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I stood on one other side of the bar. I wasn't singing it, though. Someone else was. And then I was like, hey, Roman, pick me up.
I even tried to go home, and he's like, "Dude, I came all the way over here. No, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna have a good time."
Yeah.
You know, that's our thing. We like to go out and like when the three of us get together, it's like, you know, it's like we don't skip a beat, man.
Yeah.
Like we've all been. I was actually both of their first matches in Arizona.
Nice.
Yeah, and then even with me and Chris, I think before I moved over here, I don't think we had seen each other in person except for like a show here and there for maybe
You
like
came down
2
for that
years
Slam,
or so.
that Slam U show, and
Yeah,
I think that was the first time I met you.
yeah, and then I visited. The first time I visited Tucson was during the Super Bowl when it was the Seahawks. Oh my God, what was it? Seahawks Bronx? No, it was the one that the Seahawks won. I forgot who they faced. The one that they won.
We watched that at Midtown. Remember we went up there. And,
But that's the first weekend I visited, and then things weren't working out in SoCal, and Chris hit me up and he's like, "Got an extra room, bro, if you want." And then because of that, like pretty much everything in my life changed.
and I had watched so much stuff, and Evans had talked so much. Like I felt like I knew Suave, and like just that, and we all just
the
clicked.
thing is,
you know?
if you know me, you
Yeah.
know Suave.
Pretty
and
much,
if anybody
'cause-
knows Suave, they know me.
Yeah,
You know, like, we're
which
pretty much the same person. It's so weird because
I
like
was gonna say that.
we're pretty much the same person. Like we like all the same things. We have the same jokes. We like even if you watch like our drunk plays, we'll say the same things.
It's like a relationship.
yeah.
We finish each other's sentences.
Yeah,
dude.
and
Like
even when we were trying to do commentary together, we were saying the same exact lines.
Yeah.
like, just like
yeah, that's why I ended up just shutting up and I let him talk because I was
we're
like,
just
we're gonna say the same
We're
words.
literally like the same person. Like it's kind of weird, and it's funny because like some of the people we hang out with, like some people don't like Suave and they just like me, and some people like Suave and they don't like me. You know, and I'm just like, why would you like do that? I'm pretty much
Well,
the
a lot
same
of the
person.
people that don't like Evans are Tucson women.
Oh God, that's another story away from wrestling. Yeah.
chick repellent. Just in Tucson though. Man.
Only in Tucson.
Yeah, he could
Well,
he could
there's
get
the one time in Phoenix.
he could get chicks in
We had
Cali,
Emma
man,
with
but he can't get them in Tucson.
Yeah.
They hate his
I
guts
can
here.
literally go to Phoenix and like the last time I was in Phoenix, it was for like a company Christmas party. There was like girls hitting on me like left and right, even guys. Like guys were even coming up like, "Oh my God, you're so gorgeous," and I'm like, "Thanks, man." You know,
Build me up, man. I needed
was like,
that.
Yeah, I was like, man, I really feel good about
It makes you
myself
weigh out your
now.
options. You're
Yeah.
like, well, if this girl, she doesn't want me. I know this guy does.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, thanks, man. I was like, that's very nice of you to say. Like, you know, like,
Yeah.
Made my day.
Yeah, because I come back to Tucson and it's like, get the hell away from me.
Yeah.
And, like,
I don't care about you.
yeah.
I wasn't talking.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to your friend. I'm like, oh, excuse me. Sorry.
That was that actually happened. we were like, hey, I know this girl, and her friend comes up and she's like, my friend thinks you are gorgeous, and Evans is like, yeah, I think we know her, and she's like, look, I don't care what you have to say or what you're doing. I'm talking to your friend, and he's just like,
There was more expletives in that
yeah,
sentence
a lot.
It was so hilarious.
So when the fans come see you guys, what are they gonna get?
They're gonna get the best.
They're gonna get as best a show as I can put on for them. That's all I could promise. I promise to just always give my best, you know, every time I go out there. Like I said earlier, I really want the person I'm in the ring with to be happy, have fun, and get the best of me that they can possibly get. And then I also hope that the fans also get that from me, that they are happy with what they saw by the end of the night, by whatever I gave them, and just hope that they went home happy and thinking that they had a good time and you know, and got their money's worth. That's all I honestly care about. I just show up, have fun, and hope that the fans leave happy and are okay with my performance, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing with me. That, you know, like I was saying earlier, how I enjoy being tired when I'm done with a match, because I know that I put everything that I possibly could into it. So while it's also for the fans, because of the fact that I'm the one wrestling, it's also for me too, where I want to feel the satisfaction of, like, I put in everything that I could into this match. Whether if it was, you know, taking a move or just coming up with a story that people can really get behind, because that's essentially what wrestling is. It's, you know, it's an emotional ride that you can take inside this match, you know, whether if it's, you know, 6 minutes to, you know, an hour, you know, that we're all going on this emotional ride together. And that's the beauty of wrestling to me, especially, you know, you don't even have to have good guy, bad guy, but if you do have the good guy, bad guy, it's a little bit, you can say it's a little bit easier. But whether if you like the good guy or the bad guy, you're following them, and just the build of the match creates that much emotion, and that's what I try to bring into it. I'll if I'm going out there and I'm expected to have something funny, I will try to be as funny as I can. If I'm out there to have a hard-hitting match, then I will have that. If I'm able to have all of it, I will have all of it. I'll go out there and start it funny, and then it's like, oh man, these guys are really killing each other. And then, you know, when the payoff comes, so I feel like the best matches is when at the end of the match there is no good guy, bad guy. It's just, holy crap, that match was awesome. Yeah. And that's what I try to have.
For me, I like to make it like, I want it to be an experience. Like when I'm out there, I want you as the fan to feel like you're part of what I'm doing. Like I want it to be, I don't know if it's emotional, but I want you to be invested in what I'm doing. Like I try to make you as the fans and the watchers as a part of the match as I am, you know, as much interaction, you know, with you guys as I can. And but also at the same time, I'm going to give you something you're not going to see from, you know, we're all different in some aspects, so we're all going to give you something you're not going to see from anybody else on the show. Guaranteed, especially in HIW. There's a reason we call ourselves the Card, because there's us and then there's the rest.
But it falls under that category of, there's a difference between being the main event and being the last match. There's a big difference, and that's what we try to aim for, is like, no matter where we are, we aim to be the main event.
You're going to be talking about us. You know, you might not remember every aspect, but you're going to be like, dang, that Roman Alexander match was tight, man. Chris Evans and Johnny Suave, like, everything those guys did, you know. Yeah. You're gonna remember everything you did. Like, look at the main event Evans and I had with Twisted and Neil Diamond Cutter at the last show, man. That was
that was typically old school, and I appreciated that the breakout at the end and everything, was
going up, brawling into the crowd and making everybody feel a part of it, and like that's great. What we were going for. Like, I honestly, like, it's getting to the point now where I actually called Evans and I was like, man, what can we do just to spice it up and make things different? And
it's always fighting the crowd. It's always fighting the crowd.
But I feel like from the opening promo with Neil coming out looking like a hobo. You know, like,
and his freaking Quick Mart.
His Quick Mart cup and his Oreo.
He told me about that.
His Oreo, his Cookie Monster pants, and
barefooted. I was like, you seriously look like you just came from begging for change right outside the Quick Mart down the road.
You know, when you see Neil Diamond Cutter like that, and
but he's
the way he works in the ring.
Yeah, he can sell.
I've had two singles and two tag matches against him, and every time it makes me look like $1 million, and I try to return the favor. So when he and I were able to have that one-on-one at HIW,
God, he was able to look like your moves were killing him.
Yeah.
I was in the crowd.
Yeah, I was just like,
I was
whoa.
in the crowd watching him and Neil go at it, and I was just like holding my mouth, like, oh my God, like, did he just knock him out? Like, oh my God,
Look
did
at
he just
and
break
look what he
his
did for
back?
us, man. Like,
I love
yeah,
it.
no, he was.
I love it when my opponent has the same mentality as me, because then it's actually really easy, man. It's comfortable. There's no weirdness, and it's like we're both gonna make each other look awesome. Every move from the beginning to the end is gonna be the biggest move ever.
Yeah, I love working people like
Yeah,
like
it was
like
awesome,
Neil
just-
and stuff, who comes up to me and was like, "Hey, I want to do this like crazy thing." I'm like,
You were-
"Okay,
you were-
are you sure?"
He was like, you were at first. You were like, "What are you talking about?" And
Yeah,
he's
I'm like-
Gunbuster, you know.
He's like, "Just take it easy. I have all these like
I had this
cuts and
death
stuff,"
match
and I was
last
like,
night,
"But you want me to do this too?" I'm like, "All right," like, you
Well,
know.
and then
But I love working people that just come in and they want to work. They want to bump. They want to, like, you know, get in there and just give it 110%. When I work somebody like that who immediately comes up to me and is like, "I want to do this and this," and I'm like, "Yes, yes, tell me more. What else do you want to do?" You know, it's the people that come up like, "No, I don't want to do anything. I just want to take it easy.
well, what do you want me to do?
I
Like,
don't want to. That's too much. I don't want to.
I had a match with this,
you know, like that.
I won't name this guy, but
you
I was real
immediately
excited.
come up to me like that. Then I'm just like, God damn it, get
I
away
worked this
from
guy
me.
from
I don't
Santino
even-
Brothers, and I was
I don't
real
even wanna
excited.
do it.
And I was like, "Well, what do you do?" And he was like, "Whatever you want to do." And I was like, "Well, what moves do you do?" And he's like, "Whatever, man." And I'm like, "Bro, like, what do you do?" And I was super excited because I was like, "Oh, also logo."
Yeah, I know.
And
I knew who you were talking about. That's fine.
I was like, I'm real excited. Like,
He's a super
what?
nice guy, though.
Like,
What
he's
would
super
you
nice.
say it is that you do?
He's like,
I just saw you post that too.
Yeah, like it's just depressing. Like, you're like, well, cool. Like, you come from this awesome background, but what do you do? What do you want to do? Like, give me something to work off. And he was just like, whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah,
I'm down for whatever.
yeah. My thing too is that people that go into indie wrestling know wrestling. They understand wrestling. Okay, so you know you hear that phrase "kayfabe is dead" and blah blah blah, right? So when the wrestlers and the fans are in there, knowing what wrestling is, it's our job to get in there and put on that type of art form that suspends your disbelief, where you just shut your brain off and you have a ton of fun. We're not out there to kill each other like some MMA people or whatever. It's an art form. And that's what I love about wrestling, where I was saying about the emotional aspect of it. So whenever somebody comes up to me, and don't get me wrong, if somebody's been like on a 10-day binge of like, dude, I wrestled here 10 days ago, 9, blah, blah, blah. I wrestled, like, and I'm their last one of the week. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. We can take it easy,
Yeah.
man.
We don't wanna
Like,
go Broadway.
yeah. But if it's like normal indie wrestling, and you probably do, I don't know, 3, at most 4 matches a month. Sometimes it's 1, you know, or you took 2 months off, whatever. That's where I was saying that I try to put everything into it, because you just want, like we were saying, give the fans their money's worth, and you know, my own personal benefit of like feeling good about the match. So that's the part that I hate, when somebody comes up to me and they're going like, oh, I mean, like, we'll just like punch and kick and like do this thing out there and whatever. And it's like, no, I
hate that.
I want to do something.
I generally feel bad for the fans. I'm like, when somebody comes up to me like that and doesn't want to do anything, I'm like, dang it, like, you know what I mean? Like,
When they're
I
like,
don't
"I'm
want
basic, man."
to. I don't want to
watch
be,
this.
Yeah, like, I don't want to be that match that I wouldn't want to watch. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have the match where if I was in the crowd, that's the match I would want to see. Like, I wouldn't want to be. I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want nothing to do with that. You know. I feel bad if I go out and like I don't perform and then like the crowd's like not happy with it or just sitting on their hands the whole time, not really caring or investing.
Yeah, and it could be somebody's first time seeing you, and it's like, oh, that was Chris Evans, that was Johnny Swiper, that was Roman Alexander. That sucks.
Yeah, like if that would have been that tag match got to me for a while, like all that week, dude. And then thank God I went and then we had our show and I wrestled Chad Thomas and I made up for it there.
Yeah. Oh, when I messed up the finish between Evans and Masters, I left him alone for like an hour because I felt terrible.
Oh, his face! I saw his face
in the middle of doing it.
I told him
that I botched the finish.
He was like all happy and cheering. He's like filming me with his phone, and he's like down. And I just got finished doing my pose, and he's like asking for the C thing that we do, and I do it to him, and I'm like. You can hear me on the camera too, like, thanks for screwing the finish up. And then he just goes...
My face just changed. I was defeated.
Like, he was like, oh.
It's the worst. Like, messing up with somebody, anybody else, but when you mess up with him, you're like, oh, man. Why did I do that?
But I feel that when I screw up with you guys too. Even Suave, I'm like, man, I'm sorry, dude. I don't know what's going on with me today.
Yeah, I'm still a perfectionist, man. That's why I get nervous when I still get nervous when I go out for a match because I'm just like, God, I hope I don't like screw this thing up, blah blah blah. Because people will come up to me, you know. And granted, I've had bad matches, but I'm saying if somebody comes up to me and they go, "Man, that match was awesome," I'll usually go, "Really?" Like, okay. I mean, kind of messed something up there, or whatever.
Yeah. Or like you feel like it wasn't as good, like when you actually have the match and then you watch it and you hear it and you're like, oh, it actually, hey, that was pretty good.
It always surprises me when I'm like, man, that match was terrible, and then like somebody comes up, dude, that match was awesome. I'm like, yeah, you liked it? Like, yeah, man, it was the greatest match ever.
Yeah, my very first match.
Thanks.
my first match. This is where I'm saying I'm pretty sure that Evans was my first match in Tucson. Because it was for HIW. You and I had that one-on-one. Ended up on PWI Insider.
No, that was...
somebody sent it.
The swap meet match was before that one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
well...
The swap meet match was first, and then you guys had your singles.
Okay. But there was a... Okay, let's go with... My second match in Tucson was against Evans. And, you know, it was kind of my way of introducing myself besides the match with Roman of, like... This is what I can do. Coming from somebody from SoCal is my first time here, blah, blah, blah. And he and I went all out. We actually joked around and we said we pulled out the greatest hits. Like, we were in the back. We're like, you want to pull out the greatest hits? Like, we were thinking of old matches that we had. Like, oh, remember this thing, blah, blah, blah. And we had this awesome match. And somebody there, I don't know if they worked for HIW or if it was a fan, but they sent the results of the show into PWI. Because I ended up remembering about that because it popped up on my Facebook on this day. And I remember that day, like, 2 people came up to Evans and I. You know, we're sitting down after our matches, beat up, and, like, drinking Jack and Coke. And they were like, I remember they said, both of you guys should be on NXT. That was awesome. Yeah. And I was like, I wish, man. But that'd be tight. But that's what I try to aim for and all that stuff. It's just... It was probably not in the cards, but, you know, thank you. That's awesome for that type of feedback.
Yeah, we used to get that a lot when he first came here. They were just like, why aren't you guys in WWE? Yeah. Like, why aren't you guys, like, here and there? And, like, it's like, I don't know. We're just having fun.
Yeah, we're just doing it because we love going out.
We're not bullies. Maybe that's the thing is we're not bullies.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I'm too small to be a bully, man.
You can pull it off.
We just have fun, man.
I'm just going to be like, I'm going to look like that small kid in A Christmas Story who has the bigger bully friend.
One that looks like Brock Lesnar?
Kind of, yeah.
We just like doing us and just having fun.
I appreciate that. You know, I appreciate every match you guys have. It's the match that I remember through the whole night or through the whole day or that up there. Like Roman said, I go to see you guys.
Yeah.
Dude, we love sitting there. Like there was one show, man, and I could see I could see you guys sitting there, and you're just watching this, and you're just. And I was like, Evans, look at him, man, and you guys are just like,
you guys are just like.
What? Because you guys lost or something?
No, they're watching. They're watching the rest of the show.
Oh, okay. I got you. My bad.
No,
My bad.
I'll peek out, and you guys are just like.
That's why I feel bad that I haven't been able to be at H&W, man. Because like hey, if we're breaking more kayfabe, it's like wrestling don't pay the bills.
Yeah.
So I got a real job, and my girlfriend and I had a kid, and I got to work certain days, and I forgot that HIW runs on Sundays now.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend
We were
wants
trying to have a 6-man.
That tag match was supposed to be because, like he said, he called me up and was like, "Hey, like we need to spice something up. We need to do something different." And he was like, "Do you have any ideas?" And I was just like, I came up with I was like, "Well, I don't have a number one contender. I don't think there is one for the Tucson title." So I was like, somebody could come out and challenge me, then you're worried about the Tucson title, and he could come out and say, "You don't worry," and then
do the Spider-Man pointing thing.
And then
we were gonna mention
Neil could come out and say, "Well, I beat your friend," and then you could be like, you got lucky," and then it just turns into this.
Yeah, when that show opened up, I was like, wait, what's going on? Oh, this is a promo. Oh, okay, I can watch this now.
Yeah, man, that's the thing that's been upsetting me, because it's like my girlfriend's got to work these days, I got to work the other, and he, Roman texted me, and I was like, sounds awesome, but
I got to keep up.
I got to
with
work,
the dates
bro.
For both these guys, man.
We were talking about that earlier.
I feel like I'm the booking agent.
I was gonna say
I called him today, and I was like, "Hey,
Sometimes.
man."
I actually told him that.
He's like, "Oh."
I actually told him. Yeah, I actually told him for the radio thing today. He was just like, I was like at home. I was getting ready to do some editing, and he's just like, he's all, "Hey, man, me and Suave are going to be coming by." I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's awesome." And I was like, he's all, "Yeah, what time?" Or I don't know. I forgot what he asked. Like, what time are you like wanting to head out and stuff? I was like,
He's all, "For what?"
Head out for what?
Well, you're
Like,
lucky, because he told me yesterday.
Hey, I messaged you and asked when you were free.
I was like, "What's going on? What?" It's just like the radio thing today, and I was like, "Oh yeah."
I'll have to.
He does that for my matches every week. He'll send me a text like on every Thursday or Friday.
Like, don't forget, we're booked this week.
Don't forget, you got this
Back
match
in the day,
here,
we were
this
wrestling
match
in like
here.
3 or 4 different promotions, but we were both on the same show. So I'd have to be like, "Okay, man, we got this show here, this show here. Oh, we got to go do a movie here."
That happened twice with Evans, where like I happened to see a show on Facebook, and I was like, "Hey, are you working this show?" And he's like, "Oh yeah."
I'm so
I
bad.
guess so.
I'm so bad. I literally like have no worries, like hardly, So like I take every day by day. I'm not the type to like.
The only thing that's
Plan
constant is
out.
video games.
Yeah, I'm not the type that plans out like
Yeah.
weeks or months ahead of time. I literally just like take every day by day. So like I don't worry about it. You know what I mean? I'm just
I'll
like,
usually look at the same
that's
shows
just-
we're on, and I'll be like, "Okay."
to me
hey,
that's
bro.
just stress.
I'm on this show,
unneeded
so are you.
stress, so I'm just like I don't worry about it. And then I'm like, "Oh yeah, I have that show." And then that's why I don't ask who I'm wrestling. I'm like, I really don't.
I barely remembered about the show, man.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't. I just show up. I'm ready to have fun. I'm here to work whoever you guys need. And what do you guys want from me? And, all right, you got it.
All I know is that we're working today.
We're all on the same show, so be there. Right? Call time is
But
whenever
yeah,
you
I
get
had
there.
an awesome 6-man tag planned out and stuff. And Roman's like, "Man, that's actually a really good idea." And I was just like,
with the
Yeah.
finish too.
Yeah.
The finish was going to be the same.
but it just would have been even more chaotic with 2 more people. But I thought it was still good. And
It was good. I appreciated that show.
yeah.
That match and
yeah, and I think that
props to
tag
Twisted,
match.
too for stepping up. I just figured he's too big.
Well,
A champion needs to get out of those the same guys. That.
Well, the thing I think I'm really good at with working with people is I typically don't have a wrestling style. So, and I for many years I even made it a point to do at least one move every single match that I haven't done before. So over the years, I've built this huge like
repertoire
arsenal of moves.
Most
that
of the
I
time
know.
he tries it with me.
Yeah, so yeah, or with Suave, we'll just.
Well, we
I'm
just
like, hey, I
trust
want
each
to
other,
try
you
this
know?
thing, you know.
Like, all
right, let's do it. I guess. He'd be like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I can do it." Like,
Yeah, I remember that 2 out of 3 falls at IWL, and you were like, "Hey, I happen to watch Ray and Eddie. You think you could do a springboard off the second and land into a Rana?" And I was like, "I don't know." Let's try it.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just like, that's how it is.
Yeah.
So that now, when I wrestle somebody, it doesn't matter. Like normally, everybody I wrestle, they have their own thing, and they don't go outside of it. You know, this is what I know. This is all I've ever done. I'm not gonna do anything else, and I won't go out of my way.
I'm
to
gonna do
it.
the same match I do,
and
all
I
the
won't
time.
go out of my way for you, because they just won't. You know what I mean? So because I'm not like that, I can adjust my moves. If I'm wrestling a big guy, I know how to do all kinds of high fly moves. I can do moonsaults, land salts. I can do springboards.
Moonsault is perfect.
Yeah, so
So pretty. Yeah.
so
pretty.
you know what I mean? And if I'm wrestling a smaller guy like Neil or Suave, you'll see me bust out the power moves. Like you saw me launch Neil almost into the ceiling, and then
You power me all the time.
yeah, and I've even like sometimes if I'm feeling really froggy, I'll bust out a power move on a big guy. I've done TKOs to people that are like 300 pounds. You know what I mean? So literally like deadlift them, and these are guys that are like, I'm not gonna help you because you shouldn't be lifting me anyways. And I'm like, but I can lift you.
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't. I was like, but I actually can though. You know what I mean?
Like it's not even hard.
Yeah, and they're like, so I was like, why can't I if I actually could?
Yeah.
Well, because it doesn't look that good. Well, I was like, so? You know what I mean? Like, who cares what it looks like? I think it would actually look amazing if I did it, because they don't see people lifting guys like that, So they wouldn't help me. They would just literally fall on me, and I would just deadlift them.
Yeah.
And I deadlift them, threw them up in the air, and TKO'd them, so... but yeah, and I can brawl. I can just work a match. I think one time me and EJ had a match where it was nothing but strikes. We didn't do one move because his back was hurt.
No.
So I was like,
Oh, that was when he broke his back at Sonora. I
yeah.
think.
So I was like,
Oh, after that.
so
dive.
literally, he just told me that, and he was like, I can't take bumps or nothing. So I'm like, okay, cool, no worries. I have a whole arsenal of kicks and punches that nothing that involves a move or a slam. You know what I mean? So I can adjust to that. I can adjust to somebody who just wants to brawl.
He's a chameleon.
Yeah, I can adjust to somebody who just wants to chain wrestle.
If if they can't have a good match with Evans,
They can't have a good match with anybody, honestly.
Yeah, you literally can go in there and not know what you're doing. Like the kid that was 3 matches in, he had an amazing match, and all he had to do is just listen and trust me. So he didn't have to do much. I talked him all the way through it. So he didn't have to worry about anything. Yeah, so that's how I feel I can really it doesn't matter who I wrestle or anything. It doesn't matter your style or your size or what's wrong if you're hurt, or you know what I mean. I have this huge arsenal that I can just revert to or switch and change and do this and do that, and so it's just it's kind of hard. Sometimes I notice I'll stick to a couple moves. The same moves every match, and I'm like, oh, I need to bust out of that rhythm. I need to do something I haven't done in a long time, or do something else, because I hate giving you guys the same thing you see every time. So that's kind of why I do that too as well.
# knowledgeable.
It's oh man, what did I watch on NXT this week? All right, let's try that.
All right, so we're going to close it off together, you guys, and maybe we'll bring back, we'll finish it off some more. But is there any shout-outs that you guys want to give out to anybody?
Shout out to High Impact Wrestling, Cactus League Wrestling. You can catch us on, you can catch HIW on March 10th at the VFW. Then March 16th at Riley's Irish Pub. Cactus League Wrestling, we're going to be at the Americana Indoor Sports Arena March 15th. March 15th.
The Tonga Kid's going to be there.
Oh, yeah, Chris Evans.
Isn't that awesome?
Or everybody.
That's Tonga Kid, man, from WWF.
The Samoan
I used
Dynasty.
to watch him with the Islanders, dude.
Yeah,
The Islanders.
father of what was it?
I used to
Jacob
have one of those
Fatu.
old WWF trading cards of him.
Oh, really?
The Islanders and stuff. You remember those? But and I guess for me, Chris Evans, shout out to my YouTube channel. You can watch me. You can watch all my matches. I do vlogs. I just finished a vlog of Royal Rumble weekend where I was technically an employee, a non-paid employee of WWE.
An intern.
Got to watch.
Yeah. So you can watch the vlog on that. So you get to see a lot of behind the scenes and not just me wrestling. You get to see kind of like my personal life and kind of some special things that I do here and there. And then you can also catch my buddy Johnny Suave also making appearances on my channel. We do drunk plays and just gaming plays, just retro new games. I also do my single standalone, let's plays and stuff of everything. Like any console you can think of, I probably have it, and we play it on the channel. So
yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
his cabinet reminds me of like Raw vs. SmackDown when you're trying to unlock all the different titles and stuff. There's a cabinet in like 2006, I think, and it's like you unlock each belt in a different shelf. And over the last like year or so, I've seen a new system go in his cabinet that he built.
Yeah, so that YouTube channel is Chris Evans 66. So yeah, go check it out. Subscribe.
Come on, Patreon.
Yeah.
Your Patreon.
If you want to. Yeah.
Another shout out to Revolt Wrestling. I'll be there next week, taking on Hollow Point, the Cataclysm, the Yuma Fairgrounds. Hopefully I'll debut on Chris Evans' Drunk Play soon. We've been trying for like a year.
Yeah. I mean, myself, I wrestle for Championship Wrestling from Arizona. And Johnny Suave gimmick over there. I almost feel a little weird with, like, what I'm supposed to do. But it's a lot of fun.
Prototype.
Man. It's getting me out of what I've been used to for the last like 10 years. But Championship Wrestling from Arizona. They also are on the Fight app, FITE. For myself, I do also have a very, very small YouTube channel. I put like some of my matches on there. It's just under my name, Johnny Suave, JOHNNY SAOVI, not like Rico Suave.
It's not Johnny Savvy.
Yeah, no, it's Sayovi. And then let me see, on that one I put up like 2 Mega Man 11 videos. I just haven't been able to do as much as I've wanted to lately because I got my baby and I'm working and all that stuff. So I just try to put up like what I have at the time. I'm gonna start trying to record a little bit more as soon as I have some more time. But that's mine. And then Instagram, Johnny Suave 15. Facebook, same thing, Johnny Suave. Twitter, Johnny Suave 15. if you
look for Johnny Suave.
If you didn't realize 15 is my favorite number. It was on my jersey when I was in baseball.
Don't you got a YouTube channel, Roman?
I just put my matches on there. Like, I don't even know what it's under Roman Alexander. I mean, I don't really know. I just put my matches up there.
He's like, yeah.
So I mean.
My YouTube channel, Chris Evans 66. That's where it's at.
That's actually more so where it's at.
Follow Chris Evans.
You'll see all of us on my channel. So I think they use their YouTube channels for more of an archive of their matches. Which is what I pretty much used to do. But just for some reason, me and Suave we always were like. Watching, like I was telling you earlier before the show, I was like, we just sit around and watch these gaming Let's Plays on YouTube, and we're just like, dude, we have way more we're funnier. We have more fun than a lot of the people we watch.
There's people with millions of views who don't even talk.
Yeah, and we're just like, man,
why watch somebody else play?
You know,
video
and
games?
then other people would be like, you guys are a lot funnier. Like you guys are hilarious together when you play video games. You guys should film it and stuff. And I was just, yeah, we should. And then just one day I was just like, no, you know what? We're gonna. And I just went and I just bought everything and I just researched, like I said, for months on how to hook all this stuff up. And it was a pain in the butt, but once it was all set up, yeah, we just started having fun. So
what was our first one? Road Rash? Was that the first one, or was it Tecmo Ball?
No, it wasn't Tecmo Ball, was it?
I'm trying to remember what one of the we used to start we used to start with Friday the 13th. Yeah, we used to start with Friday the 13th.
Have you seen the Friday the 13th? No. Oh, you got to see
those. Are hilarious. I was watching. My favorite one to watch is when I would get, the more drunk I would get when we would get to play as Jason, because you hear his foot stomping and stuff. I would always start singing the Terminator 2 theme. Oh. So we have one where that's the opening. It's just both of us singing the Terminator 2 theme. That's my favorite one to watch, honestly.
My favorite one too is watching where a bunch of our buddies were on and we killed Jason.
We're trying to figure out how to kill Jason.
Our whole mission is to kill Jason. And we had wrestling friends from even SoCal, NorCal, and Arizona, and we're all in this thing trying to kill Jason, trying to figure it out. And
you had the girls running around in bikinis to the Baywatch theme.
Oh my god, I gotta watch that now. All right, well, thanks guys for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Sorry, we kept you for almost 2 hours.
We can ramble forever, dude.
No, it's good. I mean, we could do it again. We could go another 4 hours. I don't care.
Heck yeah.
Anytime,
man.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah.
We'll try to coordinate a little bit better.
Yeah, this one's just been rambling.
Yeah, well, it's still good. So we'll get it out.
Well,
but we'll get you guys back.
All right, man.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.